woman never belongs to you. It's just your turn. Of course her parents don't have a problem with me being black. She's past the wall. Get your fat ass off the couch, start lifting weights, and learn game. You're welcome.
So you got drunk at a frat party, then fucked the football team? You're not a rape victim, sweetheart.
You're a slut.
What's up, guys? It's your man, Donovan Sharpe, and welcome to the 317th edition of TSR Primetime, your nightly dose of red pill truth, wisdom, and awareness. Let's get right to it, guys. I want to tell you a story about a really good friend of mine in North Carolina. We're going to call her Vanessa. I knew her in paralegal school, and we became fast friends because she was kind of a... Listen, we didn't hook up, but we became fast friends because we both had sort of a witty disposition. We understood each other. She was the president of the paralegal club. I was the vice president of the paralegal club. She also had a front row seat to watch Amy systematically destroy me from the inside out. And again, you guys can check that out on Red Pill Origins Volume 2. You can also check that out on Return of Kings. I wrote an article about her called The Worst Heartbreak of My Life. Anyway, like I was saying, nothing ever happened between us. She was one of the few girls I actually didn't hook up with that first semester. So years later, you know, I find the red pill, move to Vegas, etc., etc. Well, we'd been texting back and forth. Hey, how you doing? What's going on? Etc., etc. So she meets this guy, and things are going very well. They have their issues like any other couple does, like any other normal couple does. But other than that, things are great, right? He has a kid, she has a kid. They move in together, so they're the Brady Bunch. Things are still going great. Then they plan to buy a house. So everything is great. He proposed marriage. Then they find out she's pregnant, and they're both over the moon about it. So things are moving very, very fast. But they both love each other. She's pregnant. They've started this life together. They're going to buy a house. But then her boyfriend asked her out of the blue if her ex-boyfriend was black. And that was the beginning of the end. She told him yes. She had spoken about him before, and I guess there were some clues that he had maybe put two and two together. Maybe he saw something on Facebook. I doubt that he did, because girls are they're keenly aware. White girls are keenly aware that dating black guys is essentially a deal breaker for most white guys, and that's what this episode is about. But he called her all kinds of names, called her a nigger lover, said, I knew you felt loose in there. I knew that your pussy felt loose. I knew it didn't feel good. I always knew you were a nigger lover. I always knew you had bad character. You're a mud shark, coal burner, etc., etc. Well, she sent me a screen grab of his text message to her, and it said, and I quote, guys, next time you date a white guy, do yourself a favor and don't tell him you fucked a nigger. It is a deal breaker for all white men. This is what he said to her in that text message. I have it right there on my phone. Now, obviously, a white woman dating a black man isn't a deal breaker for all white men. Obviously, there are many factors involved, not the least of which is a man's sexual market value. A white guy with options, a white man who can sleep with and be in relationships and pretty much marry any white woman he wants, is far less likely to get with a white girl who's had a black boyfriend than a white guy who doesn't have as many options. A white guy who has low sexual market value will take what he can, right? He'll take what he can get. Oh, you fucked Taquan, DeAnthony, and LaMarcus? Doesn't bother me. Now, on the inside, it does bother him. But he doesn't have as many options as the high-value white guy. Okay, so he lets it slide and doesn't make a big deal out of it, let alone dump her on the spot, like a high-value guy probably would if he found out. Now, white guys will say, well, it doesn't bother me, but we all know it's a deal breaker enough for white guys to be having this conversation. Listen, guys, stereotypes exist for a reason, okay? Like, I'll put it to you this way. Black women, the stereotype with black women, they're rude. They have attitude. They don't give head. They're masculine, etc. Now, we can point out the outliers all we want to, but you can't counter a macro argument with a micro argument. Conventional wisdom comes from a large sample size of experiences by the masses. Black men also have a very negative stereotype. We cheat. We have a bunch of kids. We're criminals. We have tattoos. Guys, I don't take offense to that. Guess what? Because I know, even though I know I'm not the stereotypical black man, guess what? I embody a lot of the negative stereotypes that black men have in this country. Okay? Listen, just because I don't sound like a hood nigga doesn't mean I ain't been in the handcuffs a few times. Just because I don't have a bunch of kids doesn't mean that I haven't spent time in jail. I got tattoos. I got a criminal record. I have been to jail. I have cheated on plenty of girlfriends before. Now, white guys will say out loud, oh, it doesn't matter. But deep down, it most definitely does. Let's not bullshit each other, guys. This is how white guys feel. If the average white guy with the average white girlfriend found out that she dated, fucked, hooked up with, or had anything to do sexually with a black man, she is tainted in his eyes. Let's not pretend this is true, because it is. And it's not 100% true 100% of the time. I don't want to hear this, well, I know one. No. I don't want to hear this, well, Donovan, I don't care. Yes, you do. Just because you don't tell anybody doesn't mean you don't. I'll tell you another quick story. Good friend of mine down in Reno, or out in Reno, actually, right? She is the embodiment of a mud shark. She fucks nothing but niggas, has a couple of mixed kids, etc., etc. I've talked about her in the past. Her sister, on the other hand, is a beautiful white woman married to an attorney. I remember we were over at her house one day. I think, we were hanging out with her sister. And I remember on the way to the house, she's like, yeah, my sister, when she was in college, she used to fuck niggas all the time. I was like, are you serious? She said, yeah, but don't tell her husband. Like, don't say anything, otherwise it would be finished. Okay? Listen, it exists. This is a deal breaker for the vast majority of white men. Let's not pretend that that's not the deal. But here's the thing. There might not be anything wrong with that being a deal breaker, right? Just because I'm a black man, listen, I can't take offense for somebody else's deal breaker. We all have different deal breakers with girls. Some guys won't date girls who smoke. Some guys wisely don't date girls with kids. I mean, the list goes on and on. But this deal breaker seems to be shared by pretty much every white guy everywhere. And the question is why? Why is it that when a white guy finds out a white girl has fucked around with even a single black guy, or had a single black boyfriend, or dated black guys in the past, he freaks out and dumps her? Why is it a deal breaker for white girls to date black guys? Now, before I get into this, I'm gonna go ahead and let you guys know. Fuck your feelings. Black guys and white guys, fuck your feelings. Guys, listen, man. I'm gonna tell you some raw, honest truths about the both of us, black men and white men. And if you don't like it, you can go somewhere else. I don't need niggas talking about, you're devaluing black men. Dude, fuck that. That's not even close to what I'm doing here. And if that's what you think, you're a wannabe red pill guy who's a dumbass and values feelings over facts. And white boys, I don't need y'all telling me, well, white guys have more game than black guys, or black guys don't have the genetic advantage over us. Fuck that and fuck you. We have more game than y'all because we have to, and I'm gonna get into that a little bit later. Necessity is the mother of invention. Black women are insufferable and impossible to deal with. And most white girls don't fuck with niggas. And as a result, we have to have airtight game to not get fucked over by black women and to get any play from white girls. So I'm not trying to hear that. Now, as far as the genetics go, look at our sports leagues. Look at the Mr. Olympia winners over the past 4 decades. Look at the greatest gymnast of all time. France just won the World Cup and half that team is black. Case closed, end of discussion. Miss me with those bullshit statistics and studies and blood tests, blah, 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 blah. Listen, man, the writing's on the wall. I'm not trying to hear that nonsense. Now, here's the thing, guys. I'm not here to disparage white men or black men. But you guys have to understand something. This is the Sharpe reality. This isn't the Sharpe echo chamber or the Sharpe agree with black people because I'm black. This isn't the Sharpe pander to white people so that they like me. This is TSR. I tell hard truths that are sometimes hard but necessary to hear. And if you can't handle it, then you can get the fuck out. I'm not trying to debate you pro-blacks out here on this shit. Y'all are always on some bullshit. Y'all got a fucked up sense of entitlement and reality, just like feminists. I did an episode called Pro-Blacks Are Just Like Feminists. It's episode 269. Go and listen to that. Y'all fake ass niggas out here faking the funk like Michael Bennett did in Las Vegas last year and taking zero accountability for your station in life. Fuck y'all. Get off my, get out of this radio show. And white boys, quit crying and complaining that black dudes are out here fucking all the white girls. That ain't the case. Most white girls want y'all, but y'all, listen, your problem is that y'all are fucking bitches. Y'all ain't masculine enough. Y'all aren't afraid to check a bitch. Y'all are afraid to raise your voices. You're afraid to tell a girl to give you her phone number. You're afraid to pull a bitch's hair during sex. You're afraid to smack your girl's ass at random when she walks by. You guys aren't man enough. And that's why more white girls are fucking with us. But the good news is that you can change that. Despite all of your shortcomings as far as your sexual market value, you guys are still #1 on the sexual market totem pole. But if y'all don't step up y'all's game, that's gonna change quick. Don't take it personally. I call them like I see them. I don't make the rules, but this is how it is. Again, I'm not trying to bash white guys or black guys, but you guys watch and listen because I keep it all the way real, even if it's hard to hear sometimes. And if you want to change your life, you need to accept hard and fast truths and then do something about it. I love all of you guys. I really do. Without you guys, my show is not here, but I'm not here for the bullshit. So tonight, I'm going to give you the 3 biggest reasons white guys consider white girls to be contaminated. And for those listening, I'm using air quotes when they find out she's fucked just one black guy. My opening rant is brought to you by Happy Hippo Herbals, home of the highest quality kratom on the planet. Happy Hippo kratom will give you an energy boost, a laser focus, and increase your productivity, all without caffeine. Go to happyhippoherbals.com and save an additional 25% when you pay with Bitcoin. That includes your shipping. I've got like 16 strains of Happy Hippo kratom because, of course, they're my title sponsor. Chris Dioda sends me a shitload of kratom. I had what I thought might be a migraine headache about a half an hour ago. I took a hot shower. That always helps. Then I took a mixture. I actually took 16 strains, put them all together, shook them all up, and I took 1 teaspoon of that. I'm still nursing the headache a little bit, but hopefully the kratom kicks in and we can have a kick-ass show. I'm not asking you to feel sorry for me, just trying to pitch my product here. Happy Hippo kratom is absolutely the truth. It is Wednesday, August 22nd, 2018. Gentlemen, we now have a smoking gun. Miami J sent me an article that TMZ posted this morning that included pictures of one Asia Argento in bed with a 17-year-old kid, as well as text messages where she admits that she fucked him. Now, you guys can, I'll actually put the link up in the blog post. I'll put the link up in the blog post. When this episode is over. But in that blog post, I'll give you guys the highlights. In one of her text messages, she says, quote, "I wasn't raped, but I was frozen." Bullshit. You wanted to fuck him, and he wanted to fuck you. And I'm going to have more on that in a minute. But there was nothing awkward about this sexual encounter. You both wanted it. You took a selfie in bed. You both look like you were in postcoital bliss. He's smiling. She looks high as fuck. It looks like the sex was consensual. "I was frozen" was designed to make it seem like he may have raped her, like she didn't rape him. "I was raped, but I was frozen." Bitch, no, you weren't. He was fucking you, and you liked it, and you wanted him to. Don't try to make it look like you didn't know what was happening, or that you were confused as to what was going on. You didn't slip and fall on his dick with all your clothes off. You fucked him, and the sex was consensual. But guess what, guys? This wasn't rape. Whether or not the note, and you guys can check out that article, whether or not the note was real, or if he sent nudes 2 weeks after, now listen, we can't prove that. The note, hey, Asia, I love you, I'm glad we met. Dude, that could have been written by anybody. She says that he sent nudes. There's no way to prove that, right? You know what I mean? There's no way to prove that. Maybe that stuff is true, maybe it's not. But if someone is raped, gentlemen, they don't allow a selfie to be taken with their attacker after it happens. The age of consent in California is 18, but this kid, who was 17 at the time, obviously knew what he was doing and knew what he wanted. Asia didn't rape him. She didn't trick him. She didn't take advantage of a sweet, innocent boy who didn't know what he was doing. She threw herself at a male who, at that age, thinks of literally nothing but pussy 24/7 because his hormones are raging, and surprise, surprise, they had sex. Who'd have thunk it? This wasn't rape, guys. This accusation is every bit as baseless as all the other. This dude wants money, he wants notoriety, and he wants attention. Listen, just because he's a man doesn't mean I'm not going to call him out on this bullshit. You guys know I call out girls about false rape accusations all the time. Bitches do this shit all the time, and it's wrong. Guess what? When dudes do the same thing, it is equally as wrong. No, we don't like Asia Argento. She's a self-entitled slut who cheated on Anthony Bourdain. She is she was one of the main figures of this bullshit #MeToo movement. That doesn't mean she raped this kid, guys. The sex was so obviously consensual, it's ridiculous. And for us to pretend that he didn't know that was what was happening, or that he was some sort of virginal boy who was bamboozled into having a sex with a woman 2 decades his senior, is ridiculous. Get this. He also said he kept the assault private out of fear and embarrassment. Does that sound familiar? Does that sound like every public false accusation made by a woman? Get the fuck out of here with that. You want money. That's why you've leaked this shit. That's why you have bravely come forward with this accusation. Asia Argento didn't rape you. You guys had sex. You're looking for a payday. Just like every other bitch out there accusing whatever movie star or public figure. I'm not buying it. Well, the Board of Trustees for Ohio State University are allegedly meeting today to decide the fate of one Urban Meyer. And listen, they've been deliberating, I think, for 8 hours or something like that, 8-10 hours. I think they're going to try to keep Urban Meyer. Listen, Urban Meyer's he's going to go down as one of the greatest college football coaches in history. Urban Meyer has already won a national championship ahead of schedule. He's got a loaded roster, second only, I think, to Alabama, maybe Clemson. The Ohio State Board of Trustees does not want to fire Urban Meyer. They never did. What they're trying to do, the reason why they're deliberating for so long is they're thinking to themselves, how can we keep Urban Meyer but avoid the public backlash? Urban Meyer, it has come out through the investigation that Urban Meyer did the minimum, right? Now people can say, well, he lied and said he didn't know anything about it. It's not against the law to lie. And people say, well, you have to ask the question, why did he lie? The reason he lied is because of #MeToo. He knows if someone found out that he did the minimum, then he would be exactly in the position that he's in. He's not covering anything up. He did exactly everything he was supposed to do according to his contract. If Ohio State fires him, they can't fire him with cause because he followed the protocol. He went up the chain of command. He did exactly what he was supposed to do. He did the bare minimum, and I don't give a shit. That's in his contract. That's what the bare minimum is for. If they fire Urban Meyer without cause, they owe him $38 million. That's the amount of money left on his contract. But they don't want to pay Urban Meyer $38 million and then have to go out and hire another coach. No. They want Urban Meyer on the sidelines because Urban Meyer is probably one of the top three head coaches in college football. Nick Saban 1, Dabo Swinney 2, Urban Meyer 3. Might even be tied for number 2. Dude, he might even be number 2. Dabo Swinney has 1 national title. Urban Meyer has 3. And counting. He beat Nick Saban head-to-head in the national championship game. Or actually in the playoff. Bama was a 1, Ohio State was a 4. Zeke Elliott ran all over. I think he had like 215 yards. They are trying to keep Urban Meyer, but they're trying to figure out how to avoid the public backlash. So stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for that. If you want to chime in about why you think white guys discount white girls who date black men, give me a call, 914-205-5356. Again, that's 914-205-5356. If you have an unrelated question about game, girls, if you need advice, if you want to get something off your chest, you guys can hit me too. If you don't want to call, you can always chat, join the conversation on donovansharpe.com. If you're watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, and you're chatting, you're the only ones who can see it. I appreciate you watching, but if you want to get in on the conversation, come to donovansharpe.com. With the other viewers, it is just to the right of the video player. If you don't want to chat, click on the video only link. It's maybe a few lines below the player. Follow, add, and like me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just do a quick search for Donovan Sharpe on all 3 platforms for all things Donovan Sharpe. Go to donovansharpe.com. There you will find the TSR Primetime Archives, as well as the 200+ articles I've written for Return of Kings and Negromanosphere.com. I actually had articles drop on both websites today. The one that I had on Return of Kings that dropped is the real reason Women Get Abortion. That one is live right now on Return of Kings. And the one that dropped on negromanosphere.com today was Girlfriends Are Better Than Wives. Both very, very good reads. To get access to all of my content, past, present, and future, all it takes is to become a $5 patron on patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe. For less than 17 cents a day, all video and audio versions of every live episode of TSR Primetime will be available to you. You will also get access to my interviews with Red Pill heavy hitters like Rolla Tomasi, Alan Roger Curry, Alpha Male Strategies, Minister Jap, Illimitable Man, and many, many more. So head on over to patreon.com/Donovan Sharpe to get your hands on the kind of actionable content you can put into practice immediately and start changing your life today. If you want to support the show, but you're a little low on cash, you can still contribute. Just go to donovansharpe.com and shop through my Amazon affiliate link at the top of my homepage. By doing all your Amazon shopping through that link, you'll be supporting the show and it won't cost you a dime. Great way to contribute if you are not a millionaire like Heathen Deluxe. 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to get in on the show. Let's go to the phone lines. Area code 323. You're on live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Hi, what's up, Donovan Sharpe? It's me, Kobe Anthony.
Hey, Kobe, what's up, brother?
I'm good. I was wanting to ask a question. Do you feel that white women that have black female friends are contaminated in a way because they pick up black female traits, like when they're – because there's white women that are around a lot of black women and female friends, and they pick up the traits. What's your take on that?
Yeah, absolutely. White women – and it depends on the kind of black friends they have, right? If a white girl has black female friends, because there are a lot of white women, there are a lot of black women out there who are quote unquote whitewashed. There are a lot of black women out there who aren't hood, who aren't ghetto. So if your white girlfriend has black female friends who aren't hood, who work in an office, who like to drink Starbucks and listen to Third Eye Blind like every other white girl in the country, the only thing you have to hold on, Kobe, hold on, sweetie, hold on, dude.
Oh, go ahead.
The only thing you have to worry about when your girlfriend has other friends, the only thing you really have to worry about is her friends' slutty their slutty characteristics, their slutty habits rubbing off on your girlfriend. Now your girlfriend's probably gonna have slutty characteristics anyway, right? And of course we learn how to train that. But if a white girl has black women friends who are hood, yeah, you definitely should worry.
Okay. And I have one more question. Have you, before you met your girlfriend you're dating right now, have you dated any younger women like 20 or 19?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
From this generation? Like,
yep.
Was it?
Yep, absolutely.
Oh, dude. What was harder, though? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to know, what was difficult, the women around your age or the younger ones?
They're both the same. Older women and younger women come with different sets of challenges. Older women are, believe it or not, older women are a little bit harder to game than younger women. I think when I first found the red pill, I was hitting on 6s and 7s, but then when I really hit my stride, it was only 8s, 9s, and 10s. So we're going to talk about this within the context of 8s, 9s, and 10s. Older 8s, 9s, or I don't know if you can be an older, listen, there are 37-year-old 10s out there. There are some women who maintain their physical beauty. But older, extremely attractive women are far harder to deal with initially than younger attractive women. Older attractive women, they've been on the carousel a lot longer. They have had male attention a lot longer. And a lot of guys think, okay, well, I'm going to date older women because they don't have time for games, or they're easier because they're desperate. No. That quite the opposite. Do you think a woman who, let's just take your average 40-year-old attractive woman. Do you think a woman who is an attractive woman who's 40 years old, who has been eye-fucked by every man since she was 15 years old, probably even sooner than that? So she's got 2.5 decades of men fawning over her. You think she's just going to lift up her skirt and pull down her panties if you just walk up and say hello and buy her whiskey? Fuck no. The older the woman, the bigger the entitlement complex. Younger women have their challenges too. What
about the social media thing, like getting deleted? Because that seems very hard.
Yeah, well, it seems hard, but I mean, this is what's necessary. So, I mean, listen.
I know it's hard, but is that like a hard thing doing that?
Well, yeah.
That seems like
listen, yeah, it was very difficult. Listen, I tell guys all the time on my show, listen, if a girl wants to be your main chick, one of the first requirements, you got to delete your social media. I've told probably a little over a dozen women that they need to delete their social media if they want to be my main chick. Only 3 of them told me that they would. One told me that she would. Hold on, let me finish. One told me that she would, and then she tried to negotiate. Well, what if I just deactivate it and then check it every week? No, it was either all or nothing. She says, you know what, I can't do this, and she was out. One girl deleted her social media account, and she actually did it for 3 weeks, but then I actually caught her on Facebook again, and then I dropped her. She tried to get back with me. I said, listen, you can come back, but we're not going to be boyfriend and girlfriend. I don't give a shit what you do outside of these walls, but if you're on social media, we're not you're not going to be my main chick. The last and final woman who did it is the woman that I'm with now. She is off social media. You will never find her on social media. So my batting average, I don't know, whatever 1 divided by 13 is. Yeah, no, it's not easy, but that's really the only, I mean, the only way to, and here's the thing, Kobe, I want to make this clear. A lot of people say, well, you're being jealous and insecure. No. Here's the thing, man. If a woman wants to cheat, she's going to cheat. Whether she's on social media or not, she will find a way. But that doesn't mean that I have to grease the skids for her to cheat, right? Like you can say, well, Right, you can say, well, I live in a neighborhood where we can leave our doors unlocked. Listen, if you don't want to get robbed, don't leave your doors unlocked. That's the way I feel on that.
Yeah.
I got another caller here, Kobe. I got to go, but thanks for the call. Let's go back to the phone lines. Area code 612, you're on live with Donovan. Go ahead.
Donovan, what's going on, brother? This is David in Minneapolis.
David in Minneapolis, what's going on, man? How you doing?
Oh, man, I'm doing good. Just want to chime in real quick about the topic of the show. I think that the reason why a lot of white guys may feel a certain way when a woman dates brothers is because I think we represent just alpha masculinity by default.
Yep.
And I think that sometimes, guys are just, some white guys are very insecure about that. Real quick is that, I was dating a couple white girls, and, I remember specifically when their dudes found out that they were dating brothers, they had a fit. They didn't care if they dated Mexicans, white dudes, or whatever. When they found out about brothers, they were like, oh, hell no.
That's right. That's right. And it's funny because and listen, all credit to white guys. They try not to. And here's the thing. I want to make this clear to the audience. If you're a white guy and you say, and if you find out, you're not going to tell us. You're not ever going to tell anybody out loud. Listen, if I found out that Heather had dated a Daquan, I'm out. No, you're not going to tell that to anybody. But that's the way you feel. But just because you feel that way doesn't mean you're a racist. David is hitting the nail right on the head. And here's the thing, David. It's television and the media. They give white men an inferiority complex. White men are consistently portrayed in TV, movies, memes, television, whatever the case may be, as latent betas. Like they're always these weak, mamby-pamby, soft beta males, and black men, we are portrayed as static alphas. We're always, listen, not every black man is 6'5" with a 6-foot dick who drives a fucking Lamborghini. It just doesn't work that way.
That's right. That's right. No, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I agree with you on that. And I don't know why some white guys are insecure about that because, I mean, let's be real. I mean, if you're a white guy, you're kind of winning by default, in my opinion. So I don't know why, they get intimidated by us. But I think you're right, though. But anyway, that's all I want to say, brother. I love your content, man. I love that red pill bachelorette thing you did. I was watching that like a hood rat every time.
There you go.
So
there you go.
Appreciate it, brother.
Appreciate the call, Dave. Dave in Minneapolis calling. Listen, Dave says he doesn't know why white guys feel insecure about that. I know exactly why. Because it's just what he said. We as black men, we are represented as these static alphas, right? And I'm going to get more into this later, but the average, but again, listen, the average white guy, like we have a genetic advantage. The average white guy is like the average black man is bigger, faster, stronger than the average white guy. I'm 6'1", 235 pounds. The only white guys that I see who are even close to my size are guys at the gym. And dude, still none of them are as big as I am. Listen, there are plenty of white guys out there that are bigger than a guy like me. But genetically, we're bigger, faster, taller, stronger, right? I go through it all the time, man. Professional sports leagues, 75% of the NBA is black, 80% of the NFL is black. Even in baseball, where African Americans represent 8% of Major League Baseball player, 4 of the top 6 home run hitters of all time are black. You've got Barry Bonds, Hank Aaron, Willie Mays, who's the 4th guy? Ken Griffey Jr., all African American. So what is it for? So 67%, if my math is correct, 4 out of 6. I don't know. Am I doing that wrong? Anyway, most of the top home run guys in Major League history are black. The greatest gymnast of all time is an African-American girl by the name of Simone Biles. If we gave a shit about hockey, we would dominate that too. We dominate track and field. That requires athleticism, right? Like this is how it, listen, even Mr. Olympia, of the last 31 years, Lee Haney has what, of the last 30 years, the only guy who has won, I think he won 7 in a row is Dorian Yates. But the last 31 years, Lee Haney won 8 in a row. Okay? Then it was Dorian Yates. Then Ronnie Coleman won 8 in a row. And Phil Heath has won the last 7. Those are all black guys. We have the genetic advantage. That's just all there is to it. So yeah, listen, I know why white guys feel insecure about that. And I don't even want to say it's insecurity. It's just, they just don't feel like they measure up, but they could. Just like David said, they have a natural advantage. They're still the most preferred guys out there. Good call there by David in Minneapolis. If you are watching on Facebook, Twitter, or YouTube, come on over to DonovanSharpe.com to watch the remainder of the episode. Again, my Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube audience, come on over to DonovanSharpe.com to watch the rest of the episode. Thank you guys for tuning in. I will see you guys in just a minute. Let's go to the chat here. See who we've got in the house. Ooh, wow, the chat is live tonight. All right, let's see what we got here. Wow, you guys are lively. Anytime I talk race, man, the chat and the phone lines blow up. Again, 914-205-5356 is the number to call if you want to get in on the show. Freelance Ronin, the original TSR OG. Freelance also says that pro-blacks and feminists are two sides of the same coin, straight up. Agri says, spit your truth, bro. If guys can't handle it, then I feel sorry for them. It's a tough pill to swallow, but again, you can't make improvements unless you understand what the truth is. Freelance says, give that tough talk, brother. Steel is forged through heat and hammer. You're goddamn right. Agri says, even though I live in Norway, I am originally from the Middle East, and the girls over there act just like black women. Therefore, I date white Scandinavian girls now. They're feminine and submissive if you're the man to pull it out of them. Excellent. Sharpe Assist says, wait, the kid said he was raped. Yeah, he said he was sexually assaulted. Get the fuck out of here. That's some female shit. Rollo Tomasi in the house. Good to see you in here. Rollo Tomasi always